And right now we're going to talk about the new role of agencies. I have three gentlemen here at the table, and they're all representing an agency association. Welcome Bert Hagendoorn, he is the founder of Dutch Digital Design. Dinesh Sonak, the director of ADCN, which these days stands for?
Advertising, Design, Creativity, the Netherlands.
Right. It used to be the Art Directors Club.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. And Adjan Kodde, who is the chair of the Dutch Digital Agencies. Welcome. Thanks so much for being here and sharing your knowledge. And we've just heard from earlier speakers that a lot has changed in the industry. And one of the things that has changed is that you founded a new association, Bert. Can you tell us why?
Well, what the Dutch Digital Design Initiative is doing is promote the very best of digital design work from the Netherlands, Dutch designers, Dutch agencies, inside and outside of the Netherlands.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're focused on promoting what our Dutch agencies are making.
Yeah, we show the very best, and in the end we try to generate more business.
Okay, and I mean in physical design, Dutch design is really well known.
Yeah.
Is there a trademark for Dutch digital design?
Well, that's a good question because there is like a signature in Dutch design. That is not so much the case in a digital area, but there is the same kind of Dutch mentality behind it.
Okay, and which is, how would you describe
It's
that?
an open-minded mentality. It's a mentality to solve things, and it's a total experience.
Okay.
Like the old Dutch designers, it's also in digital design.
Okay. Dinesh, there's a lot of things changing in the industry. I believe that the theme of this symposium is also reimagining marketing. Also a lot of changed for your club because you changed names. Within all these changes, what are the biggest challenges agencies face today?
I think one of the biggest challenges is to get the right talent. Talent with the right skill set, to collaborate with other partners outside the agency, collaborate with their clients, and to come up with not just ideas that have a short-term impact, but more strategic solutions for the longer term that have a bigger impact on both culture or the brand or the business.
Right, so you used to just make a website, a product website, there you go, and now you have to come up with strategic solutions as well. So you're more involved with the whole company instead of just the website, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. If you, let's say from an advertising perspective, what we observe is a struggle for a lot of agencies, but also on the brand side, in between keeping the pace with the speed of culture on a daily basis and the speed of media on the one hand, and on the other hand, driving your brand through that chaos in a more strategic way. And I think a lot of, on the consumer side, culture is changing a lot in the sense that people want meaningful ideas, meaningful stories, solutions that really work for them, that make their life better, and not just advertising fads or ads that are just there for the brand to present itself rather than help someone to have a good experience or solve something in their lives. And that requires a totally different mindset and also different skill set for both the creative side as well as the marketing side. Much more empathy, much more user-centered design minds, and we need to train people to be able to do that.
Adjan, do you agree with this, with these trends?
Yes, and I think there are two other more important trends that, not more important, but important. That one is that we are hitting the boardroom of the companies. 10 years ago we were working for the internet department, which was a part of the marketing department. 5 years ago we were working for the internet department, who maybe was next to the marketing department, and now we are hitting the boardrooms, and that is a challenge on a more strategic level. We need to have more business insights next to the digital insights. And the other one is that I think that we are pulled rapidly back in the real world. You cannot talk anymore about an offline world and an online world. You know that maybe 7 years ago you want to go to the internet, you have to go to a desk, start up a computer, and then you had access to the internet.
Right.
And nowadays we are just at home on the couch and we have it on the phone. But the internet is going everywhere. It's on your body, it's in your car. So I think we cannot talk about an offline world anymore. There's only an online world.
It sounds like agencies have a lot more work to do these days and becoming more and more important for companies. We're going to talk about that later, but first we're going to have a look at a video from our expert panel. So throughout these live broadcasts, we have an expert panel who is responding to statements and questions, and by doing that, helping us, well, guiding us through the conversations. And the next statement they're going to talk about is about agency pitches. Let's have a look.
Disagree.
Agree.
Totally agree.
Disagree.
Agree?
Disagree, because I think that with global agencies, IDs that can be generated by A/B testing are valid as well and super valuable for many brands.
I think the whole concept of agency pitches is dead anyway. I think what clients are looking for now is a full offering to transform their business, and pitches per se are not the way to do that.
Agree. I think it's a gift and not a threat, because it's creative accountability. Your ideas are message against the real thing.
Disagree. You first have to have a great idea. And a great idea requires knowledge, experience and vision.
I tend to agree to this because agency just is one part of the whole journey. I don't think agency alone should actually make the impact.
Okay, a short round here. Are agency pitches still valid? Yes or no?
Still valid. I think that it's changing very rapidly now. Yeah, I mean.
So no, or
if I have to choose,
yeah,
no.
No. Okay.
No.
No.
Yes, but less important.
Okay. And why? Why are they less important now?
Well, I think that when you want to make sure that you make great moves on the internet, you have to build a relationship with clients. And maybe a long time ago, you had to hit and run for projects. And nowadays, most of the agencies have long-term relationship with the clients. So you do some pitches during the year, but not every month. So they are getting less important.
Okay. And Bert, why were you in doubt?
Well, I think it's there's a good side to pitching as well, but I think I agree to what Adjan is saying, that it should be more about having a relation with the client and building trust and being able to make more successful solutions.
And how can agencies manage to do that? Because you also said they should have boardroom access now. I'm not sure if they always get that, but how do you win the trust as an agency? What are key findings in that?
Well, for me it's hard to say because I don't have that experience myself, but I would state that you can only work towards a situation like that by having a longer term relation. Mm-hmm. So if you have a hit and run system, then you can never really show and build trust with the client in a short period. Okay,
so internally you should get rid of hit and run systems, but Dinesh, what are other things you can do to win the confidence of clients?
I think to me, clearly, at least the advertising industry is to be a much better strategic business partner, as you say, for the client. So I think that the complexity of the situation in which a lot of brands and companies are in right now, especially the bigger brands, demands better creative solutions. And those solutions, McKinsey, for example, is not going to come up with creative solutions on how to find your new growth angle and how to make that happen. So I think the creative industry, creative agencies and all sorts of formats, if they have the ability to operate more on a business level than just a brand level, I think they become better strategic partners at that boardroom level, and it's key for both bigger companies, but as well as for the agencies, to embed creativity, real creativity at a boardroom level, and to really see that as a driver of growth.
And how can they focus more on business intelligence? Should they compete with the McKinseys of the world, or should they hire business analysts?
Well, funnily enough, what you see is that some of the strategy consultants are now buying design firms. So Accenture bought Fjord, McKinsey has bought a design firm. Companies like FREEK are starting to work together with BCG and others. So that's one trend where they collaborate both at a sort of a senior strategic level with, let's say, the creative power to come up with ideas for growth. Again, I think it also requires a different skill set at an agency level. So more people with a strong strategic, economic, business, behavioral background, rather than just, let's say, a group of artists who make beautiful stuff.
Right. Do you see that happening, Adjan? Do you see agencies hiring more business analysts?
Yes, and I think you can see that it's more that strategy and execution go hand in hand, day by day. So it's hitting the boardroom because it's hitting the whole business. So you cannot change the business by having an idea in a pitch and next week another idea.
Right.
So all the companies are going through a transformation, and it's very important that you have to have a very clear spot on the horizon where you want to go to. But the exact way how to get there is more based on day-to-day decisions. And your other question about how do you get the trust is to start small and show results. And building by that, you can also build the trust of the company, of your client.
So you gain entry by adopting a small project, and then you show the results of that, which is of course a benefit of modern times, that you can show the data and tell them, well, it works.
Yes.
There's the data to support it.
Yes, you start with only one department of the company, and that's it's just a couple of people. You have the first results, show it to more people, and then more people come, and then you go to another department, and then at the end you touch the whole company.
I think what's equally important, on the one hand, to have agencies become stronger and more strategic. On the other hand, we also believe that marketing companies or companies that see themselves as a creative organization, even if they're a big multinational like GE or Unilever, embed the creative function at a board level. So what you see in, for example, the fashion industry, companies like Burberry, H&M, G-Star, or look at what Apple does. Even Heineken has sort of an in-house creative director who operates at a board level and collaborates with the executive board about how to foster creative culture within a company. And it's equally important that, let's say, in the future, a typical executive board or management team does not only consist of, let's say, finance guys.
Right. You need a creative director in your board.
Absolutely.
And he or she
if you take creativity seriously as a driver for growth.
Right. Do you see that happening, Bert?
I see that happening most definitely. It's about combining the different disciplines in a process. And I see that also on an educational level. Dinesh was talking a little bit about that too, where you see successful educational institutes like Hyper Island, and the educational institutes that's going to be there next year. It's a collaboration between the HVA, Hogeschool van Amsterdam, and 9 agencies. And the goal is to get the best of digital designers and make them global level players. But also there you see that the combination of the different disciplines in a process with short iterations is really the way forward.
But this also sounds like agencies will have fewer clients and will be more intimate with their clients, right? It
might be the way, that might be happening.
Isn't that also a threat? Because with one of the if you lose one of the clients, you might be in danger on the business side, or?
I think in general, agencies need to reinvent their business models a little bit to become much more agile in the way of working, be flexible as to the type and amount of customers and clients they work with.
Okay.
And maybe become leaner and meaner and more of a connected groups of people who work together rather than a fixed big one agency group of people in one building.
Okay. Well, thank you all so very much for sharing your knowledge about how agencies are changing. And after this, we'll talk with agencies about how they're working with these new strategies. Thank you so much for being here.